In the Parshas of Matos-Masai, we learn that the members of the two tribes of Reuven and Gad told Moshe Rabbeinu they decided they did not want to inherit a land in Eretz Yisrael with the rest of the tribes, the rest of the Shvatim. They wanted to instead hold on to the territories that were right outside Eretz Yisrael, which the Jews conquered before entering the lands of Og and Sichain, which they said were more pasturous. They were more green. They had a lot of sheep, so that's where they wanted to call home. Yet practically we see that when Moshe Rabbeinu allotted the different lands to different tribes, on the Transjordan, on the Ever HaYarden, this plot of land that Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven asked for, we see that Moshe Rabbeinu gave this land to the tribe of Gad, the tribe of Reuven, and half of the tribe of Menashe. Now, this begs several obvious questions. First of all, Menashe never asked to be on that side of the land. Seemingly, they just wanted to be in Eretz Yisrael like everyone else. So, where did they come into the picture? Why did they randomly also get a part of this land that we never see that they ever asked for? Second of all, why half a tribe? Seemingly every other tribe inherited lands in full units. Why over here was this tribe split in half? Half of it remains in Eretz Yisrael, half of it remains outside of Eretz Yisrael. Third of all, the Gemara actually makes a distinction and says that that Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven asked to go into Eretz Yisrael. This is in the Gemara Yerushalmi. Menashe never asked to go into Eretz Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu gave it to them on his own accord. Now this begs another third question. Moshe Rabbeinu was not happy with the tribes of Gad and Reuven asking for a land outside of Eretz Yisrael. He started comparing them to the Meraglim, saying, look, you're going to scare your brothers again from going into Eretz Yisrael. You just want to hold on to this land. It looks like you're scared of going to fight the wars, to go conquer the land. Moshe Rabbeinu was not happy about it. They had to work out a whole deal about how they would go fight with everyone else and then only later return. So if Moshe Rabbeinu did not want, this was not an ideal situation for these tribes to start taking the land on the Transjordan. Why on his own accord did he give an extra half a shevet if they didn't even want it? Seemingly it wasn't a good thing. So the Rebbe beautifully explains like this. Mefarshim explain that Moshe Rabbeinu was required to sanctify the land. Like everything central in Judaism has to come through Moshe Rabbeinu. Even things that are going to happen when Mashiach comes. We know that Mashiach will reveal a whole new Torah, yet that had to be transmitted to Moshe Rabbeinu on Har Sinai, because everything central in Judaism must run through the head, must run through Moshe. That's why Moshe, even though he never went into Eretz Yisrael, Hashem told him go up to the mountain so he could at least see Eretz Yisrael, and that he could sanctify the land with his vision, because that is essential. This is the homeland of the Jewish people. This had to come through Moshe Rabbeinu. So over here, what Moshe was doing with half of Shevet Menashe was very interesting, explains the Rebbe. Ultimately, it says that Eretz Yisrael will spread to 3 other nations and will spread ultimately across the whole world. Now that has to happen through Moshe Rabbeinu. Where do we see he ever did that? We see he sanctified the land by looking at it, but where do we see he sanctified the extension of the land, which will happen in the future, which will happen when Mashiach comes? That, says the Rebbe, was what Moshe was doing when he sent half of Shevet Menashe with Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven. He chose a Shevet, a tribe, specifically a tribe that loved Eretz Yisrael. Their daughters, the Bnei Tzlafchad, started fighting with Moshe Rabbeinu because they wanted to inherit, even though they were daughters, and they had no brothers. They were one of the only, or possibly the only girls in Chumash that bring up a legal debate because they want to inherit land. They want to inherit their father's land in Eretz Yisrael. Menashe's name stems from a name of not forgetting my father's house, not forgetting my homeland. Menashe was someone that had it was a shevet that had a deep connection to Eretz Yisrael. Specifically, this shevet, Moshe Rabbeinu sends on his own and splits it in half to show that Menashe he's not sending to the Transjordan. He's going to hold half of them in Eretz Yisrael, and the other half he is extending Eretz Yisrael to the Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven. Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven wanted the Transjordan. That Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't happy about. Menashe wanted Eretz Yisrael. Those people, Moshe Rabbeinu said, let me take half of you to sit outside of Eretz Yisrael. By definition, that will be extending Eretz Yisrael to its outside too and begin the ultimate expansion, which will happen when Mashiach comes. A beautiful explanation with a beautiful lesson in life. Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven and half of Shevet Menashe were sitting in the same territory. For some of them, it was a not good thing, and for some of them, it was a beautiful thing. For some of them, this was their way of remaining at a distance, feeling alienated. For some, for the half Shevet Menashe, they weren't feeling alienated at a distance. They felt so close. They felt such a yearning to be close that their remaining at a distance was just bringing that distance close. They weren't at a distance. And this is very practical. Let me try to bring this down to more simple words. Different people went to the Rebbe about going to college, and the Rebbe was staunch against, don't go to college, go to yeshiva, don't go to college, it spits venom to the brains of the youth. Yet if someone was already in college and they wanted to go to yeshiva, the Rebbe would often tell them, you are in college, go get your PhD, people, the world around you will respect you, because if you want to go into Eretz Yisrael, you're remaining outside of Eretz Yisrael, now becomes holy, now becomes, you're extending Eretz Yisrael outside. And this is a lesson we all need to take. We often feel like outsiders because we have a colorful background, or maybe we've been shown things, or we've had an open upbringing, and we feel guilty about it, or wish we could be in a holier space. The moment I wish I could be in a holier space, the moment I wish I could be a member of Eretz Yisrael, the moment I need to look back and realize that my being a little bit outside is not being an imposter. It's an opportunity to bring Eretz Yisrael to that outside, to that colorfulness that I was brought up with. Have a great Shabbos.